What's up guys, it's Manga Time once again. I'm here today to bring you my review of Bleach Volume 59, The Battle. But before we begin, I'd just like to direct your attention to my new channel, Culture Shock. There's going to be like some button around here somewhere. I'd really appreciate it if you check it out. It's a little project me and a couple of friends are doing. We do podcasts, discussion videos about games, movies and television. So I'd really appreciate it if you just quickly checked it out, see if there's anything you like. There's not much on there at the moment. There's a podcast. But, you know, I'd really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button and just help us grow. That'd be really great. And then we've also got a Twitter and stuff as well. And it'd be brilliant if you could just post some questions, if you're interested in that sort of thing, of course. Post some questions, and yeah, that'd be really great of you. And I'd really appreciate that. So thanks a lot, guys. Anyway, on to the review. And yeah, it's obviously going to be mirrored, but you know what it is. Volume 59, The Battle. Not the most creative title. And frankly, I think that statement, not the most creative, extends to quite a lot of this volume. But first, the good thing, one of the best covers of the final arc so far. Unohana looks awesomely badass on this cover. Look at her face. Look at how sinister she looks. And her hair is doing like some funky spider dance. But, you know, she looks very cool, very cool. There's a slight purple hue, but it's not as overbearing as, say, Kurge's book, which you can't even tell what his actual colours are supposed to be, which is slightly annoying, even if it is, you know, slightly obvious. But with Unohana you can, but you know, she looks cool. She does look very cool. And it's one of the best covers of the arc in my opinion, equaling 55 and 57, which are New Half Arc and Byakuya respectively. Anyway, moving on. Kubo does his little thing at the beginning where he gives you a little message. This one's actually talking about his trip to Germany and his interview at the Leipzig convention, which is where we learn a bit more about what he was planning. That poem, Battle is Everything. Now, if you ask me, that is just the nail in the coffin of Unohana's character. That is so one-dimensional. That's a shame, that poem, I think, especially since this is the only cover Unohana is going to get. So for her to have such a flat and boring poem is just a bit stupid. It's definitely a bit of a letdown. And the little picture is her long hair, obviously, because this is the first time we see her with her hair down. Now, here's something else that doesn't make any sense about this volume: is the All-Stars. Ichigo, Renji, Hikifune, Oetsu, look at the spelling of his name, jeez, Shunsui, and Kenpachi. There's someone missing, isn't there? There is another important character in this arc, but I can't quite remember who in this volume. But I can't quite remember who it is. Oh, well, clearly not important enough to put on the All Stars. No, but seriously, either Shunsui or Hikifune don't need to be there. Shunsui is literally in this volume for about 3 panels. And I know he basically predicts the death of Unohana, but still, it doesn't need to be there. Or Hikifune, but I think Hikifune deserves to be there more than Shunsui. They just wanted Shunsui with his eye patch in the All-Stars page, didn't they? That's clearly it. As for actual content, well, it very much depends on what characters you like. For me, this volume is very much an in-between volume. You know, this is very much in between the last fight with the Quincy and then the next one, basically. Well, not necessarily the next fight, but the next big revelation. It goes from chapter 521 to 530, so we do get to see the beginning of Everything But the Rain, which is pretty neat. Before that, we have to sit through, you know, Hikifune's palace, which is actually quite boring, thinking about it. Reading back, there is some funny bit with Cone though, and we do get the revelation, of course, that the Royal Guard are all inventors of something or other, blah blah blah. And then we get the awful chapter where Oetsu introduces himself, and it's literally just nothing but messing around for pages and pages and pages of just utter messing around. Like, seriously, the first 3/4 of that chapter are nothing going on. And interestingly, we get this colour page. Well, I mean, it's not actually a colour page in this volume, but And there's also the one on the back, which is actually in colour. Which, again, to me, doesn't seem to make any sense. I would have thought they would have used the colour page of Unohana's death. That makes so much more sense to me. Again, not in colour. But, you know, I'm surprised they didn't use that for the colour page, but, you know, whatever. Apparently no one likes Unohana. So yeah, then we get the explanation of Sauchi, pretty cool. There's a lot of there is one thing this volume as well. There's a lot of backstory about like the history of Soul Society, all that sort of thing. Now, obviously, if you're a big fan of Kenpachi, you'll love this volume. Yeah, look at that! Whoa, that is creepy. But yeah, if you're a big fan of Kenpachi, I'm not really. You'll like this volume. However, I have to admit that rereading this this volume, the Kenpachi versus Unohana, while you might not like the outcome, the fight itself is actually considerably better than I remember it being. It's one of Kubo's more kind of like even fights that just goes, you know, back and forth. Even if some of it is a little bit stupid, like when, like Kenpachi's big revelation is, this is true battle. I mean, come on. That essentially means that he barely had any character development in this whatsoever. It wasn't necessarily character development for Kenpachi, more so than it was backstory for him. Because look, there he is as a little kid. Look at him, so cute, with his big sword and his psycho eyes. No, that's not going to focus so well. But yeah, actually rereading it, it is a bit better than I remember it being. Even if it does completely butcher Unohana's character. I mean, I think she's more interesting like this, as the psycho version of Unohana, but she, you know, she gets the real short end of the stick against Kenpachi. Even as a child, she's apparently weaker than him. And this is all just meant to build Kenpachi up some uber beast. Then we obviously have the massive disappointment that is Unohana's apparent Bankai. We have absolutely no idea what it does. Kenpachi successfully unhinges his jaw twice in this volume, actually. There's one. And he does it again when he thinks she's dead. There you go. Look at that. It's kind of weird that Kubo draws something like that, because he's such a good artist. I don't know if he actually thinks people can do that. But yeah, anyway, there is character development here for Kenpachi, and there is for Unohana as well, but the problem with Unohana's development in this book is that's where it ends. You get this second side to her, which is apparently her real self as well, so all this battle is everything, that is all she believes. But of course this does have the massive revelation in it that Kenpachi finally gets to speak to his sword, which is very cool. We still have absolutely no word on that in the manga either. And I have to say, this is one thing I really liked. It might be tiny, but you get to see Kenpachi squaring off against Kenpachi Giganjo, the Kenpachi before him. Then we get Ichigo losing to the Asauchi, blah 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 blah. More boring Oetsu stuff, because it is boring. I'm sorry. And then we get the start of Everything But the Rain. Some cool Ishin panels. And then obviously we get, ta-da! Captain Shiba! One of the biggest revelations that everyone saw coming. But still very cool. And the chapter ends, oh, it's Aizen! My favourite character, he's back, but only in the past. That's a shame. But, yeah, no, we do see a bit. Masaki is a Quincy, obviously, and the volume ends there, with the arrival of White. So, you know, all in all, it's an okay volume. There's a lot of plot movement and quite a bit of backstory. However, for the most part, it's just not very interesting. I mean, it doesn't help that I'm not a huge fan of Kenpachi as it is. So, you know, I mean, this volume is automatically not going to be my favourite. The little chapter sketches are good, however, because they see, look, it's Kenpachi's arm going towards his sword. I like it. It's clever. And then he grabs it. I like that because obviously, you know, it's going to have this volume. The events of this volume are going to have major repercussions on the story. Whether people like them or not, I don't know. That's definitely to be seen. Overall, though, I'm going to have to drop this volume as a 7. I think it's definitely a massive, massive come down from the amazing 58. But it was bound to be, really. But I mean, the first invasion is so stellar 56, 57, and 58 is the first invasion. It's so good, that it was just bound to come down. But you know, if you're a Kenpachi fan, I just wholeheartedly recommend this is the volume for you. And honestly, if you're a Bleach fan, you have to buy this because it's part of the amazing final arc, and it's so important. A lot of it is so important for Ichigo's growth. I think the next one, though, volume 60 with Masaki on the front, is going to be good. With all of everything but the rain in it, and I'll make sure I bring you that review when it finally comes out, about April time over here, I think. But yeah, that's it really, guys, and I shall catch you hopefully tomorrow for what I'm really hoping is a better chapter than it was last week. And yeah, I'd really appreciate if you checked out Culture Shock and maybe gave it a subscribe. I'd super appreciate that. But other than that, that's it for me today, guys. Volume 59 gets a 7 out of 10. Let me know in the comments below, do you like Volume 59? And if you don't have it yet, then what did you think of the chapters that are included in Volume 59? What did you think of Unohana's character development? What do you think of Kenpachi's? And the start of Everything But the Rain? Let me know in the comments below and give the video a like. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to me if you haven't already. But until next time, guys, thanks very much and see you later.